Hello, everybody. Welcome to another weekly episode here of the YYC Real Estate Show. This is episode 59. You have Shiraz, Zach, Sebastian, your hosts, and today we're glad to introduce our guests, Azadeh and Milad, investors in real estate that we'll dive into and get to know all about, and as well they can talk about their business here as well. So first and foremost, we'll quickly give a weekly snapshot of what's happening in town, what's happening in the real estate market.
Yes.
We talked last week, the week prior, there has been a shift. You can feel it, and the numbers are showing it. So that shift is kind of a slowdown in the market.
Yeah, it is.
So kind of gearing towards more of a balanced market. We're a few thousand listings away from a balanced market. We're at 3,078 listings right now.
Yeah.
And we look at weekly sales all the time.
Yeah.
And we were seeing 700-800 every week.
Yeah. It depends, like also going into the summer, if we continue feeling this kind of market, just because right now it is, July long weekend and then Stampede happening. We see a natural slowdown in Calgary anyways. So if this stays throughout the summer, then we'll know that the market's actually changing. This week can always be a bit of an anomaly for Calgary's market.
Yeah, just having a little technical difficulty here. I just wanted to confirm. Yeah, I think it's 578 sales in the last week, which again is 578 sales in the last week. So a big change. I mean, we're seeing 700-800 every single week, and for that to drop off by 200, and this change happened in the last 15 days. So it's but like you said, maybe it's the long weekend, maybe it's Stampede time, and we always go over the two top sales and the two lowest sales. So both on the same area, 3.35 million and 2.65, both on Longwood and Longridge there in Lakeview, and then the lowest sales here, if this will cooperate with me today. Which it is not.
It's glitching today.
Yeah. That's all right. Maybe we'll just get into the guests here, and I'll work on this in the background.
That sounds good.
So,
figure it out.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Does that change affect the prices of the market as well, or?
So how it will affect the prices is we've experienced a heavy sellers market for the last 2 years. Heavy sellers market meaning the moment it hits, if it's priced right or priced a little low, competing multiple offers, sells right away. So what you're seeing now is the shift is creating perhaps price reductions, longer days on market. So things like that is what we're seeing here.
So a little bit towards buyer's market, let's say.
It is.
Yeah.
Not
So-
fully, but more to a balanced side of things for sure.
So 3,082 listings.
And we see that with our buyers that we had in the last couple of weeks. Like if we had buyers a month ago, we went to go see a place, they had to make a move on it right away and be ready to pay over. But even last week I've been doing showings and you can kind of relax a little bit and say you have a bit more time. And obviously if I'm priced right, it'll still go pretty fast, but you have a bit more time.
Not even just time. You can actually show them something. What's happened in the last year and a half is you book 4 or 5 showings for a client, and while you're on your way to do your showing tour, you get a notification on 2 or 3 of them sold, accepted an offer. So it's like, sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, we were gonna see 4 or 5 properties, we can only see 2. And then it's like, those 2 are probably not the best in those 4 or 5, right? Because those that are the most attractive will sell. And in any market, no matter what market it is, if it's a great product, great location, it will sell.
And a great price.
Yeah, price is the end all be all.
Yeah, definitely.
So with that quick little update for the stats, we'll just go into reintroducing you two.
Sure.
And you guys can talk about your experience in investing here in the YYC and your journey in real estate. So please introduce yourself to everyone.
Yeah. Hi everyone, my name is Azadeh Makkinejad. Professionally, I'm a financial educator, and as a person who is actually involved with finance and money, I know that we need to have a portfolio. And beside investment in finance, in stocks and let's say shares, I believe that we need to invest in real estate as well. So these together actually can build a great portfolio for any investor.
Yeah, it's one of the key pillars in your investment portfolio.
Yeah,
All the successful individuals have a real estate arm in their portfolio, right?
Yeah. It's one of the few real tangible assets you can have as far as investments go.
Yeah. The safest. Usually the safest. Usually.
I like that part.
It's all
Usually.
timing. Real estate's timing, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you have,
it's long-term investment comparing to some short-term investment that we do for our clients. But on the flip side, we, as a matter of fact, help investors to build again the, let's say, down payment for their next investments. So, because entering the real estate requires greater deal of money. And not everyone has that. So we help those clients to build the required initial investment to enter real estate as well by helping them to grow their money in other investment portfolios like stocks, and then getting ready to enter different markets.
nice.
Yeah.
And yourself?
So yeah, thank you very much. So here is Milad Shahbarnia. As Azadeh mentioned, I am a financial professional too. So the thing that I want to mention that here is that it's about the opportunities. So it depends. Opportunities come and go fast. We should be wise enough and smart to catch them. Okay, opportunity never wait for us, for example.
Yeah, you need to be ready.
Yes, and it needs some prerequisite to be ready because we are not knowledgeable in all different kind of areas, for example. So, and investment can be varied, and it depends on the person, how they think, what they want, what they need, and it needs a very accurate need analysis. It's very important. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And as far as your journey and experience in real estate here in YYC, please talk to us about your investments or anything you've done personally, your experience here.
Yeah, so a few years ago as a newcomer, you really don't have a clue where to start.
So when did you come here to Calgary?
About 4 years ago, 2020.
2020. And
Yeah,
yourself?
during COVID.
So, I relocated here from Toronto.
Yeah.
I lived here in Canada about 3 years, but about 6 months I just relocated from Toronto to Calgary.
Okay.
okay.
So
Yeah.
very, very soon.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So 2020 for you, 4 years?
Yeah. And you can imagine it was COVID, lockdown, recession, things were like crazy. But then we had a jump in 2022 in the real estate, and we realized that, we missed that opportunity. And like Milad said, at first we were just investigating, and we didn't have, we were not exposed to right information and the professionals, and we were not serious about it. But when we experienced that jump, then we realized, we missed that opportunity, right? So after that, my husband and I decided that it's the best time to start investing is right now. And this is what I tell to my clients whenever they say, I'll wait till my kids go to school, or I'll wait till they, let's say, go out of the house, or till I, let's say, pay off the mortgage and so on and so forth. I say, no. The best time to start is right now. At whatever age and whatever, let's say, season of their life they're in, I recommend that because I experienced it firsthand myself. So we started in late 2023, and now we are actually doing flips and fixes, and we're expanding from there.
Awesome. Yeah. So how many in Calgary have you done for, obviously you purchased for yourself to live here, correct?
Right now, no.
You're
renting.
doing so I know a lot of people that have 4 to 6 properties that they own, but they themselves rent.
Yeah.
They collect rent on the 6 properties they own, and they themselves are a renter somewhere.
So this part, my husband is the best person to answer your question because he's the one having his own company and running his own business in real estate. I take care of the finances right there aside, and I'm actually running my own business in finances. So my part is to actually raise the funds,
the capital,
to invest in real estate. As I said, it requires big chunks. Right?
Yeah,
so,
of course.
Yeah, definitely. So what kind of project are you guys working on right now? Do you guys have a flip currently?
Yes, he has a project in Edmonton.
Edmonton, nice. Okay, so why Edmonton? It's just an opportunity that fell in your lap over there?
Comparing to the prices, because he's mainly working based on cash, so.
Okay, so the cost of entry is just where you wanted it.
Exactly.
That actually has been a big trend in the last 3 months, I would say. Like there was probably 7 or 8 sales that I did that were rental properties for investors, and they took that money, sold their property to buy the same property, but save 50 to 100,000 on the same product, 3 hours north in Edmonton.
Yeah.
So that's how much the swing is for the same product. The rent is also lower. It's a lower market.
And
Prices
as
are
you
lower.
mentioned, the market in Calgary is so crazy because there are a lot of, let's say, demand here. Comparing to Edmonton, the demand here is higher.
Yes.
So Edmonton doesn't have that crazy market as
Right.
Calgary. It's easier to get into the market
Yeah.
and not having facing those multiple offers and everything.
So, and that's why for all of these areas, we need someone that shows us the roadmap. It's very important. It's not, for example, I want just to invest on a real estate or something like that. So, because it's important, are you familiar with this market? You know that how to analyze the data. We need someone who expert to show us the roadmap, how to analyze the data. Like, for example, the thing that you did at the beginning of this session.
Right.
So, it's very important.
Yeah,
Providing value to everybody is huge,
Sure.
especially if you're a newcomer to anything. I like what you're saying earlier. It's like we tell all our clients, it's like you buy real estate and wait. You don't wait and buy real estate. That's kind of what you're saying about investing. So that's a big thing. And then obviously there's people that need to wait just financially. But if you have the ability to do it, you don't let the cloud over you in the certain circumstances.
That's right. And one thing I realized about my own career in financial services is that people underestimate the power of time. Time is always in our favor, and we shouldn't actually miss that time. We shouldn't wait for anything, for market getting less busy or busier. Nothing. We have to take action right away, and we can be the best people to show them, like Milad said, the roadmap to start somewhere. If they want to enter the real estate market, where should they start? Can they start
right here?
Yeah.
I was just looking while we're talking to compare Edmonton. You can get a $60,000 apartment.
That's incredible. Yeah.
So for people who are actually building their businesses from scratch, it's a really good place to start. On our side, we help the clients to realize the right vehicles to start saving some money for the down payment and everything,
Right.
and how to qualify with right mortgages or loans, personal loans, because we, as brokers, we deal with different financial institutions. So we can negotiate with bank A, lender B, lender C, and our hands are open.
Yeah.
And we can give the clients best options, best rates based on their situation.
Are you getting a lot of people kind of coming up to their 4 or 5 year renewal like now?
Oh, yeah.
And just saying
It's-
my
it's-
2% rate, my
Yeah,
1.9%,
It
it's gonna be
started
6.
early this year. It started
Yeah.
early this year. Yeah. I don't want to, let's say names, but there are some couple banks, A lenders who provide very good rates. That's ironic because they don't give access to brokers. They just do it directly. So we're fortunate to work with them directly. We can always refer our clients to them to get the best rate from them as well and compare to the other rates that they approve from other institutions.
Nice.
Yeah. Rates are really important. It really matters because they're, as you know, the amortization is getting lengthier. Instead of 25, now we are looking
30.
at 30, 35 even.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really backbreaking for clients. And this, unfortunately, locks clients to one estate, one property. They don't have the, let's say, mobility.
The free capital, the liquid
Exactly,
capital.
the liquid capital. But we try to get them best rates so that they can actually move on to second property rentals and
Okay.
other
Lining
things
them
as
up for
well.
a
Yeah,
more successful future, right?
absolutely. Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
So what made you decide to come to Calgary? When you came here in 2020, like were you exploring other cities, other provinces?
Very good question. So we had an immigration application with IRCC, and because of COVID and lockdown, it was actually postponed. So we had more time to investigate other cities. And I'm from Iran originally. A lot of Iranians know just Toronto and Vancouver. They don't know anything about other cities in Canada. They even don't know that Alberta is the name of a province.
People
Trust
just
me.
Canada, Drake,
Yeah.
Toronto.
Canada, Toronto, Canada, Vancouver.
Yeah.
But my husband and I were, let's say, patient enough to search other options, and based on many factors like the climate and weather. So unlike the Calgary is, let's say, infamous for the bad weather, it doesn't have bad weather in my eyes, because those tricky period are just 1 or 2 weeks. We have minus 30. The rest is good. It's the sunniest city in all over Canada.
Yeah.
The affordability was really good, at least back then. In 2022, the population was low. It wasn't as busy and as crazy as Toronto. I come from the capital of Iran, Tehran. I experienced lots of traffic, and
Yeah, we're like 1.7 million here.
now it was like 1.5.
Yeah.
And as big as Calgary, it's
Calgary's
so
the
scattered.
size of New York,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Overhead view.
The population is scattered. It's very family-oriented, family-friendly city. It has all the criteria of a metropolitan city, yet not as busy as Toronto, or it has more safety. Now my daughter can play outside without me worrying about anything.
It's huge.
Yeah, these are the factors that we considered, and we chose Calgary.
Nice.
Amazing.
I love that.
So
Yeah.
to just kind of touch on that, we ask every guest these 2 questions. So we might as well, it's a perfect time to ask. We'll ask
This is
both.
probably the perfect 2 to ask too.
Yeah.
They're the newest in Calgary.
Yeah,
So this is awesome.
so-
I'm excited for this.
Relatively.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead, you can go ahead.
So what is one thing that you absolutely love about Calgary, and one thing, we don't like to say hate, but one thing you would change or like would want to improve? It can be anything, like it can be literally anything about people, infrastructure, anything.
One thing I love about Calgary is the nice people that I meet here. They're very approachable, very friendly.
Born and raised, let's go.
Yeah, the original Calgarian. Yes, and I've heard from one of those original Calgarians that we have to be nice because of the weather. We don't have any other options. Anyways, and one thing I'd like to change, that would be, I would add more luxurious texture to the whole city.
Yeah.
Everything's so fundamental and basic and minimal.
Is that like when talking like restaurants and stuff, like, or the more like infrastructure?
Infrastructure.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you travel, I've said it before, anyone that goes to like Europe or anywhere else, it's a little embarrassing to see the architecture that we have here compared to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
You know, they have
The materials,
centuries-old places.
yeah, the materials that they use in construction is so basic, you know. Everything is so repetitive. It doesn't have that much variety. You know what I mean?
Cookie cutter.
Yeah, cookie
Yeah.
cutter, exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
So yeah, more custom, I guess you would
Exactly.
like. But here, the way they have the real estate set up is, for example, let's talk about Midfield Heights. So it's just off of 16th Avenue and Deerfoot. So it was just an empty plot of, like, I think it was just a off-leash dog park or something.
Yeah.
They're converting it into a big plaza, mixed-use plaza. And so when they do it that way, they set it up. So this has 7 phases, and they'll give it to a handful of builders, and then those builders have their own specific
Their own
4 to
taste.
5 options, but that's their taste. And it's not much different than the other guy's taste. It's just like green and dark green. So,
That's right.
so if you want to go custom, actually what you're saying, you need to sit down with a builder and you need to decide exactly how you want your home. And it's much more
Exactly.
expensive, but you can see this in some areas, some older areas in town. If you go and drive in some older areas, you'll see that each home is very different from the next. Whereas like now you go to any community, they all look the same, right? All of them.
That's right. Yeah.
It is still around, but it's just not the norm. One thing that's coming back, we talked about, is having a front porch and veranda.
Oh, yeah.
You know, builders are doing
Yeah.
that where they never did it before. So
Before.
just to kind of have a curb appeal.
A touch.
Yeah.
On top of the design. Yeah.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, homes are becoming more dense and more dense. Neighborhoods are becoming closer and closer. So having even more outdoor space doesn't hurt.
What about for yourself?
Sure, yeah. For me, one of the things that I really like here is about the hospitality. And the other thing that I want, I don't know, this is the right word or not, the change is not about Calgary. It's about how easily people miss opportunity and wasting time.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
very
So
important.
you wish you could change the general mindset around making the decision
Yes.
to go ahead, right? The opportunity is there in front of them. Let me wait. What if something better
Let
comes
me
tomorrow?
think. Oh my god.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because you know that if always you want to change something that happened, there is no guarantee that never happened. For example, if you change your province or other places, but the thing is that you should change the way that you look at things. It's very important.
Yeah, that's true.
You know that there are two things that we can control them: our attitude and our activity.
Mm-hmm.
That's very important.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like
That's why I don't want to mention anything that I want to change, for example, that related to Calgary, because there is no guarantee. But I can change my attitude and my
Yeah.
activity.
Yeah.
Right. The
Yeah.
things you have
well,
to
and
control.
if enough people did that, it would change Calgary in a way.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like
It's not on our
all-
hands.
It's all all
Yeah.
matter.
So he has the experience of living in Toronto for 2.5 years,
Yes,
almost 3
more
years,
than
and
that, yes.
now living in Calgary. You
Yeah.
can give a
Quieter,
good
right?
comparison.
It's a bit quieter here, I think.
So for me, everything is different because
Less hectic.
I studied in Toronto. So yeah, and then after always I said that the success is not the thing that happen all of a sudden. You should have the plan, and that's why I'm always looking for the opportunities, and I'm never locked in one places.
Yeah,
I'm
nice.
open,
Good.
and yeah, and that's why I'm here today.
Good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. Very nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
thanks for coming on. Is there any questions you two have about just the real estate market or
Any questions
Kind
for
of-
us at all? Yeah.
deals and issues?
The first question I asked, actually, you answered, and I get a quite good idea of how we can expect the market to go on. You said that the market is now bouncing and cooling down a
It
little
is.
bit.
You're starting
And
to
the
feel a
effect
shift.
of this shift on the prices.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not generally affecting. Like if you look at the benchmark price, it's not affecting the benchmark price, and like changes do take like some time to actually affect the official numbers, but it is going to affect the market in the sense of how long is a property staying on the market? Are you going to sell in a day or two? Are you going to have
So I'm
competing
not
offers?
asking about the official market. I'm
Yeah.
asking about off market, or let's say the market that you're working intangibly with. Let's say.
Yeah, I mean, off market is a different animal as well. It's like case by case basis
Yeah.
because you're dealing with the seller direct, right? And they have a number in mind. Can you meet their number? And that's really it. Their number could be very far off. You can have two sellers on the same street. I've had this happen, and one's okay to take 50,000 less than the other, even though they're the same product 2 houses away, right? It's really like what are their situations. And that's becoming more scarce right now. That's the highest demand. All the builders that we
Yeah.
represent here, all the clients we have that want to do rental and flips, and then builders, of course, they want the lots. They want a minimum 50 by 120, or they want anything they can rental and flip and make a profit. But those are in such high demand that there's nothing available. And the ones that are available, the sellers still have their heads in the clouds, and they want $600,000 for a small little bungalow, in Forest Lawn,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Where 2 years ago we were selling them for $450,
Wow.
right?
Well, usually there's a reason that off-market people are off-market because they don't want to go on-market and be realistic sometimes. Well, not all the time, but if they see the market and if a realtor comes and gives them a price to go on market, well, they don't agree with that price, they're probably going to go private. So you're right, it's case by case for sure.
So also I have questions. So
Yeah.
I just want to know that according to your experience, when the interest rate comes down, so how people make decision, they usually make decision emotionally, or they have some logic behind that, and or is there prediction or something like this?
So it's funny. Each client has their own different mindset, and sometimes you're dealing with two different mindsets, right? You have a husband and a wife, or you have two brothers investing or two sisters investing. And I'll give you a prime example. Clients of mine that finally purchased together with me are two brothers. They're accountants. So they're very analytical and they're very number driven. And so they were like, we like this property. We finally found one we want. And we want to go ahead with it. But we know that on the 22nd of July is the next rate announcement. So if we go ahead and buy this one, what if the rate changes? So I'm like, well, then you just opt into a variable rate mortgage. I mean, if you're high and you opt in for the variable, you're just going to enjoy it going down and down. There's no indications that it's going to go up. So just go ahead with the variable, and if it changes, great, you'll keep getting. But then of course, then they're like, but what if it goes up? So then you're going to pay more. Okay. So
I know.
There's been a lot of buyers on the fence waiting for that 5% that didn't change for so many months, like a year, over a year. Didn't change from 5%. All the rate announcements, the announcement was no change, right? Announcement was staying the same. So now finally, after so many months, it went 25 basis points down to 4.75. We all thought it would be like an influx into the market, but the opposite has happened.
It's weird.
More inventory has come on, and less transactions have occurred. So it's the exact opposite of what everyone anticipated. So it's always really hard. Everyone wishes they had a crystal ball. Everyone loves to ask their realtor, like, well, what's going to happen next month? Like, what's going to happen next year? Like, what's it going to be worth? I don't know.
That's where, like Mila said, we need to be ready to grasp those opportunities, because nobody knows.
Well,
I always
know what you know now.
I always say,
read the future.
I always say, like, are you okay with this as is in today's price? And if it goes up or down next year, that's only going to affect you if you need to sell and trade in that market next year. Are you looking to buy this home and stay for 5 years, 10 years? Or are you looking to sell it in 6 to 12 months? No, I'm going to stay 5 to 10 years. I'm like, then ignore the market. You buy it. Just ignore it. Don't let it stress you. You know, it's like watching your investments. If you're watching your investments every month, you're going to drive yourself crazy. I just like to look at it at the end of the year and know that, okay, I made this much profit at the end of the year. If I were to look at it, 2 or 3 months out of the year are going to drive me bonkers, because I'll see that I put money in for it to grow and I lost some. But if I look at the big picture for the whole year, I'm in the positive. So it's that kind of same mindset that I try to get the buyers in, that don't be affected or be worried if you buy this house today and next year you lose 40, 50,000. You didn't lose it unless you ask me to sell it for you, right?
And exactly, so also we have the same situation, but in a finance. So that's why before we go to answer these things, we usually analyze the risk tolerance. And that's why it's very important, because as you mentioned, that it can be very and different from people to people. And that's why. But if you know, for example, the risk tolerance of the person that you want to give them consult or advice or anything else, so it helps you, for example, to go there and answer their direct to the point according to their response. And that's why we said that when we want to consult someone, it's very important you know your client, their behavior, their risk tolerance, and anything else.
So our business is very similar to yours. We also deal with people's psychology. So you actually show them the psychology of buying a property, right? Or investing in a property. We also teach people the psychology of investment in general. And we, by asking questions, like Mila said, we should know about their risk tolerance. We should know about the time horizon. And these knowledge and information equip us to make best decisions for them. So this is how we can help our clients on the investment side.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly same as you guys.
And sometimes it's frustrating, but you just have to relay the facts and let them go through the motions, right?
Yeah.
Even in my eyes, even it's not frustrating, because once you put yourself in the shoes of the client, then you can understand what they're going through.
But what I mean frustrating for us is we've had clients where we show them 60 properties.
Yeah.
They're indecision people that
That's what I know. That's where sometimes the frustrations can come.
You're right.
Where, like, you know, we're always taught, like, you don't want to show someone on a showing tour more than 5.
No.
Because, like, it's psychologically,
overwhelming.
They'll forget, become a little hazy. They'll even forget which
the
one's
first one. Which one is one?
They'll forget which one's which if you show them more than like 4 to 5, right? And so it's that same thing.
I know.
Again, not naming names, but I've had a client who I did. It was my personal record. I showed them 67 homes before they bought a home.
Wow.
And they finally bought a home. And on the way to taking possession, I drove them. She's like, I forgot which house we bought.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I hope you like it. You forgot
Is this the one? Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
That's
thankfully it's
painful.
fine. Thankfully she's happy, but you know that's what can happen when you get so overwhelmed, right?
Yeah.
So
Let me add something, and that's why, for example, once someone comes to you, so before I mentioned that, so the only things we can do is that, so we should be all in, and as a professional, so the only thing that we can control is our behavior and our attitude, or activities and attitude, and that's why you create the values for your client. For example, when you know that your client had a busy mindset, so when you figure out, for example, this property that you showed, for example, to your client, maybe he or she like that. So you memorize to your mind instead of them. And for example, when the guy said that, so even I can't remember that, which one I like that, now it's time. You help them.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons that's it. Because most of the time people, because also I studied marketing too. That's why most of the time the people said, okay, how I can create values for my clients. There are lots of people that doing the same thing that I did. I said that just figure out. Also, there is something that you can do because all of us are unique.
Yeah.
You know that you have, yes, you have some skills and talent that your colleague doesn't have. And that's why if you're just focusing first on yourself and then figure out yourself, now it's time and you understand how you can use the skills, the tools that you have, that God gave you, and use them to create values for your clients.
Yeah, it's a great achievement for you to actually finalize that deal.
So many would have given
Kudos
up.
to you.
No, seriously,
Yeah.
so many would have given
Oh,
up.
I would have been done. 48 I'm done. I would
See?
have passed it. I would have
See,
passed it.
that's
I'm just
the
kidding.
difference.
I would have done.
But still.
I would have done 100. No,
I don't think so.
No, I would have.
No.
I would have. You have.
But again, this was a very different market. Today, I couldn't show 20, right? If they have their criteria, this is the price range, this is beds and baths, these are the areas. I couldn't show them more than 20 if I tried, right?
Right.
That was a market where there was 5,000
Yeah, this is what Milad means. So you can control your activities.
Yeah.
In that market, you could show them 60 something cases. In this market, it's not in your hands.
Right.
But if it was, you could.
Yeah.
This is the point. This is the value that you add to your clients' investments, which is great.
But then talking about, personalities and kind of dealing with psychology and stuff, there's, different types of personalities, right? Like the driver, things like that. So you have sometimes, usually you have like almost two opposite personalities that you have to deal with. So it's like one person you have to go through every single detail, and the other person is just like, all right, I give you 4 criteria, they're met. All right, this is what I want.
Good.
But then the other person wants to like overanalyze, and so it's sometimes it can be tough in that regard. So many times in situations, one party of the 2 buyers, for example, wants it and then has to convince me, and this buyer have to convince
the other one.
buyer.
Yeah, I know. We have the same challenge in the actually families that we help, because we have to sit down with both spouses at the same time. It's their finances. They have to make mutual decisions.
Right.
Like you said, we always experience this diversity in the spouses, in the household, always, all the time. Yeah. You cannot find 2, let's say, couple that are thinking the same and having the same.
It wouldn't work, right?
Very
it's
rare.
yin and yang is how it works, right?
It's really
we
rare.
talked about this when we met.
Yeah,
Like
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
And you know that this can be one of the advantage of our job. Because imagine that all the clients that comes to us, all of them have the same approach, same behavior.
Yeah,
So
it would be boring.
it's yeah. You know that?
And you couldn't present them something new and out of the box thinking and
Exactly.
be like, hey, not many people are looking at this investment, but I think someone like you who
Opportunity.
has a risk tolerance, like the reward here is high, but I know that you're willing to take that risk, whereas everyone's not. If everyone was the same, you couldn't even look at those opportunities. Even you'd be like, it looks great, but I can't even pitch it to anyone, so no one will look at it, right?
Exactly.
So it's the same like when I see a house that I'm like, man, if you just put 20,000-30,000 into this one, you gained 100,000, right? But some people can't see that, right? Some people can't see past the face value. There's clients that as soon as we open the door, they don't even want to take their shoes off. Nope, next, right? Like they won't even go look at the house. Some when they drive up and see the outside and see that, no, I don't even want to.
Yeah, and I give my clients 100% permission to tell me that. Be like, if we drive to a property and you see the outside, and just from the first,
saves
you
us
don't
time.
want to see the inside, let us know. You don't have to.
Here's how you I learned the hard way, but it turned out to be really good. that you're there for the appointment, so I'm like, well, I have to show that I was here and I went in and I opened the lockbox and I put my business card so that I didn't do like a no-show.
You did your part,
right?
exactly. You did your part.
So we were like almost at that frustration part for the wife on these clients I'm talking about, and they were like, this was their third weekend out. They have 3 really young kids, shuffling them in and out and just getting exhausted. And the wife's like, she's like, I don't understand how people could move every 3-4 years. Like, I don't want to move again ever, right?
Ever.
She's like looking and just getting frustrated, not finding what she wants, or this one was so close, it's just facing a busy street and cars are going by too fast, my kids play. So we get to this house and it was like a busy street, corner lot, but it was a school zone. There was a park, a kitty corner from them. So it was like 30 limit. So that all worked out. And then she wanted to stay and not look at it. No, I don't want to look at it. So I go inside and I tell the husband, I was like, let's just me and you quickly go look inside. He goes inside, he's in love. So he comes outside, he's like, switches with her. He's like, I'll stay in the van because the kids fell asleep in the car, right? So they were taking their turns, and she goes inside, and then she didn't even want to look at it. She walked in and just started walking around, and all I heard her say was sold. That's all she said, and that's the one they bought right then and there.
Yeah.
And they didn't even want to look at it. We joke about it now when I like keep in contact with them. How's your home? You know, congratulations on your first year anniversary in your new home. And then she's like, well, we were talking about it the other day that it's all timing. You know, they got that property for $415. Today it's $625.
Wow.
And they got it two and a half years ago. And not only that, they're like, it's just so crazy that I didn't want to even get out to look at this house. And she's like, this is the house I love. So, you know, sometimes when they don't want to go in, you know, sometimes you should be like, well, listen, this checks off all your boxes. You know, it has 4 beds, three up. It's a corner lot. You know, it's renovated.
You had the right solution for their problem, and
just forcing them.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is that clients usually don't understand the problem that they have, and because we think out of the box and we have an let's say a comprehensive and holistic view over their situation, we can make them help them make better decisions, and we can solve their problems because we're at a higher level of that problem. They're inside that problem and they cannot make right decisions.
They can't see outside of that bubble.
Yeah, they cannot see it, and we are there to help them to see outside the bubble and think out of the box. And this is the best way to help clients to solve their problems this way. This is what we do in their finances as well. A lot of people come to me and they say, hey, Azadeh, I don't have any money left for saving. How can I start saving? Then I say, okay, let's go through everything together. I sit down with them, I explain first everything, check everything, how much money is coming in, how much money is going out. Then I find out different, let's say, areas that I can help them with. And then they realize, oh, this is a good idea. Oh, let's do that. And then I give them ideas, and then they have a more open mind to look at the picture and find solutions for their own problems.
Okay, great. And if someone wants to reach out to you, what would be the best place to contact you?
My phone number.
Your phone number? Okay.
Yes.
What's your phone number?
Yes, 825-561-8005.
Okay.
And is there any like website or social media that we can tag?
You know, as financial professional, we had to have our own website, which is actually regulated by our company, the brokerage. It's under WFG, but it's under my name and my last name. So that's why I said my number. And if they can Google my name in Google Map, I have my office registered in Google as well. Okay. So
definitely
my name,
put your name in the description and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
My name and last name,
Definitely.
Same for you?
The same, yes, we are business partner.
Okay,
Yeah.
so same phone number?
No, the number is different. But no, man. So my number is 647-887-0685.
Seeing a lot of 647 numbers
Yeah.
these days.
Toronto guy. That's right. Yeah, as Calgarian, you must be proud. You're attracting a lot of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's me personally, but yeah, I like it.
All Zach.
You can take the credit.
Yeah, I will. I'll take any credit I'm given, so that's good.
Yeah.
Also, you want to talk about a fellow agent of yours that asked for help? A very tough criteria where you had asked me about. He wants properties only that are for seller financing.
I'll just read the message. Yeah, I had a fellow agent who works at my brokerage, EXP, and he had messaged me. I'll just read the message, actually. It's just easier.
So this is a really tough criteria, right? He was asking me, like, how do I even set up a search for this? I said, you're not going to find many results. because it's those properties where the seller themselves is offering seller financing. So a buyer that comes along won't need a mortgage. The seller will continue to hold the property.
Yeah, for a certain term or the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but any property can be seller financing. You just have to write.
But not all sellers.
He was
go to
looking.
do
He
that.
was looking
Exactly.
for advertised as seller financing though.
Oh.
So that's what he
That's
just
what-
said. Would you be able to set up a search for me for seller financing in Calgary? Looking to purchase something through seller financing right now, and just not much in Edmonton area right now for it.
And why is seller financing important to this person?
I didn't get that far.
Oh, okay.
So I just, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, the sound of that sounds like they probably want to just get a better rate on the
Yeah.
monthly payment for at least a certain period, and then usually the way that works, I've had someone offer one of my properties seller financing, and they were like, "Yes, we'll pay you over 5 years, and then at the 5-year mark, we'll clear the balance."
Yeah.
Right, and
Yeah.
first they'll pay off a certain amount per month and whatnot at a certain interest.
Yeah.
And it's one of the creative financing things that not many people know about. And it is tough to find a seller. Most sellers just want to get their money and
Of course.
and move on.
Yeah.
So were you able to find seller financing?
Just making sure. Where does it say finance?
Yeah.
Their buyer cannot. That's why the deal fall through.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it does happen. Seller financing does happen more than you'd think as well.
See, so there, I did find it. So seller is willing to provide vendor financing, right? So there's 75 results,
Yeah.
75 potentials, where all of these properties, you can get vendor financing, seller financing.
Yeah.
So this is how you would set up his career. So out of the 3,000,
2.99 mortgage rate right there.
yeah. See, so this is one. He's offering that.
And that's directly from a builder. Which is kind of cool. It's good incentive for a builder too if they can. You see that a lot in vacation properties down in Mexico is that the builder will offer financing, or Dominican, the builder will offer financing for a certain amount of time to help people purchase. And
Yeah, and the
clear their
Dominican,
inventory.
it's really geared towards Canadians for sure. We don't pay any transfer tax. We don't
Taxes,
pay,
yeah.
for 15 years, we don't pay any rental income tax. There's 2 extra fees that any US or European investor would pay that
Right.
Canadians do not pay. So they're really pushing for Canadians to invest there, which is why it intrigued me to invest there.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, so
Interesting.
it's
Nice.
great. I'm trying to push these gentlemen as well.
Yeah.
Because your dollar goes a long way there.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Buying something brand new, top floor, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,200
Yeah.
square feet, 111,000.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Absolutely.
Great. Yeah.
And taxes. Oh
Definitely.
my
Well,
goodness,
appreciate you
crazy.
guys coming onto the podcast. This is
Of
good.
course.
And hope people reach out from this. And yeah, we definitely learned a lot. You guys have some interesting opinions about things. Yeah, we appreciate you having
Thank
you
you
on.
so much for having us here and for the opportunity. Yeah,
Of course.
All right.
for sure.
Till next week.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.